All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's July 18th. NASDAQ fresh all time highs in the overnight session. Not much progress, though. A lot of churn near that prior day high, a lot of choppiness during the overnight session. For today, I am expecting a bit of a slower open this morning until 10 a.m., where we have MCS. MCS typically market moving. So, gonna really be looking to be more hands off in this first 30 minutes, unless there is something that is so compelling. But the expectation is definitely for a little bit of slowness here off the open. And part of that is because of the current location. We don't have much to work with from a structural perspective. Taking a look at this 2 hour chart right in front of us, NQ, like I said, up into all time highs. Now, part of my process, part of my system leans pretty heavily on levels of interest, and my definition of a level of interest requires higher time frame structure. When the market is at all-time highs, you're just not going to have those structures. It's just part of it. Just part of it. So this morning, really what I'm going to be looking at is how price responds to prior day high. That's going to be one of the primary reference points here, especially in the first 30 minutes. And then I would like to also see any reaction into overnight high, overnight low, as well as the previous all time high at 23,222 marked out on the chart right here. That was Tuesday's high, 23,222. So that's the game plan for this morning. NQ as of right now, kind of bumping into that prior day high. That's going to be our strongest reference point here this morning, at least in close proximity to where price is right now. If we take a look at yesterday's profile, yesterday's action, we had the rally, the pullback, which many of you were in, myself included. That was a phenomenal long setup, and then the fresh all time high. After that all time high was made, price just settles into just a sideways range, very, very choppy. That being said, there's going to be a lot of volume through this area right here, prior day volume point of control. So that can also be a fairly solid reference point for today's session. These are things we got to lean on when we're at all time highs. It's going to be more focused on reference points. And if you actually take a look at this overnight action, this blue line is your prior day volume point of control. Look how well it's held as support for the duration of the overnight session. So it just shows you the importance of some of those volume points of control. And again, that's volume through price. So NQ right now, right into prior day high. Let's see what we're working with here. 3 minutes until the open. It's Friday. You're not going to make your week today. So if you've had a tough week, definitely don't try and make it all back today. If you've had a really good week or even just kind of a moderate week, the goal today is just to primarily focus on that A plus opportunity and not do any damage to the already good week. That's how I approach Fridays. It's not going to be a super, super active day. And that's been my Friday approach for the better part of 10 years of full time trading. So, see what we get off the open. Got a little volatility here ahead of the bell. We have some Fed speak or something going on right now. It is also OPEX Friday, third Friday of the month. You always have the options expiring, monthly options expiring. So, is that a fresh overnight high? There's a fresh overnight high right there on NQ. Yeah, even more reason to be doing less here off the open. There goes that prior day high. Long gone. Take a look at ES really quick. Yeah, ES into those all-time highs as well. Pretty similar structure, near-term range breakout. There's that prior all-time high retest right there just now. Well, not just now, but the start of this 2-hour candle. And 1 minute until the open here. Here's your open, 10 seconds. A little bit of volatility there. Some good volume ahead of the open. Session volume point of control, 278. To prior day high holding that initial test there. It's decent volume off the open. NQ bumping into 300, those double zero levels, usually psychological. Overnight high is 320. There's your volume tapering right down below average. There's your opening 5-minute bar closing up. Just a little consolidation off the open so far. Again, lower expectations until that 10 a.m. MCS at 10 a.m. Back into that prior day high area, session volume point of control. Got the session low just beneath around, what is that, 265? 268? See if those lows are going to be cracked here. RTY into prior day high, ES and prior day high. Everything just trading near that prior day high. Note the volume. Below average. There's your new low of day, NASDAQ. So overnight low just beneath 245. Of course, prior day volume point of control right there here at 256. Let's see that Netflix they reported yesterday. Oof. Netflix puking. Reminds me of the options days. Nice little opening drive right there. Those puts would be printing. NQ pretty much hit that first upside fib extension this morning. 326 area. See that weekly. So last week, you have an inside week. This week breaks out. Look at that volume. Terrible volume. Let's check ES. Pretty much the same. Chop, 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 chop. Hope no one's getting chopped up right now. The choppy? The Friday chopper? So far, not getting chopped, Kevin. Good. Good, good, good. Just look at the volume right now. Remember, this is well within the expectation for this morning. Talked about pretty much doing nothing until 10 a.m. If you're joining us late, this is what we talked about before the bell. Ray says coin new all-time high. Let's see. Oh, there's another nice opening drive trade. Ray's ready to reload that options account. Wow. Imagine you bought the IPO and you are just now green. Look at your typical Wyckoff accumulation down here. Man, you love to see it. You love to see it with volume profile right there as well. Wow. Beautiful. If coin's at all-time highs, that must mean Bitcoin is up there. What is this? Where's the rest of the chart? What is it? Is this the futures? What am I looking at? There we go. Yes, all-time highs on BTC. BTC. Any BTC Bitcoin holders in the chat? Any crypto lovers? Been reading about ETH on the rip right now. Yep. There's NQ waking up. NQ up and through prior day high. No volume. 13 minutes till 10 a.m. Think we'll see better action then, personally. On my volume indicator down here, this black line is the historical average at the same time of day for the past 4 sessions. So it's a true look at relative volume, same time of day, not some moving average nonsense. Real RVol. The real deal. So if it's below that line, I mean, it's color coded, but if it's below that line, you can see it's well below average there. Now, I don't necessarily need volume personally, but it's a helping hand. It's a helping hand. THT and Tesla. Yeah, that's nice right there with prior day high. 10 till 10 a.m. 10 till 10. See if we get some action. 10 a.m. If 10 a.m. doesn't wake this thing up, this may be a no trade day. This is the sort of action that kills traders, if you ask me. Inability to sit on your hands and stay patient, which is ironic because it's literally the easiest thing to do. You just don't do anything. Literally do nothing. Or not even do nothing. Do anything else but trade. Anything else. Anything else. There's a little volatility. NQ new low of day. A little uptick in volume. That MCS get leaked early or what? I don't see anything on the news feeds. But we do have volume coming in. Six minutes till 10 a.m. Prior day volume point of control holds as support so far. With the little intraday spring there. No position for me. This is honestly that typical OPEX action for you. Just pure barcode. All right, NASDAQ coming into overnight low as we get into 10 a.m., 2.5 minutes till 10. One minute till 10. Let's see. NQ still sitting right here on prior day volume point of control. Overnight low just beneath. Pretty much all we have to work with. Take a look at, check out that 2-hour candle. Look at that. Look at that. If that shows follow through. Hourly as well. Okay. Noted. 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 Here comes 10 a.m. So far it's choppy, but it's a couple of lower highs from a structural perspective. Everything freezes. Everything just freezes. So you get a little bounce there from the lows. NQ bumps right up into that intraday structure point right through there. We're just right here at the prior day high again. Dom wants overnight low. Overnight low. It aligns with that prior day structure. Still choppy. Still quite choppy. Yeah, this is more than likely going to be an early day. We'll see next 15 minutes. NASDAQ, new low of day right there. New low. Coming into overnight low, 245. Looks like a perfect test. So beneath the overnight low, you have that prior all-time high, 222. Let's double check our higher time frames here. Take a look. Keep an eye on your 2-hour, your hourly. Keep an eye, keep an eye. See if we get a test on that prior all-time high. Beneath that, it really opens up. And that would align with the higher time frame. Those sequence of bearish candles right there in the 1 hour, 2 hour as well. See the 4 hour while we're at it. Never use the 4 hour, but there it is. So far, intraday is a series of lower highs. Gives you a downtrend. Choppy, but a trend lower nonetheless. Buyers like that overnight low area. Keep an eye on the 5-minute right there. That can give you a hammer. That would look a little better. For a bounce in the near term anyway. Retest prior day volume point of control. There was your play, Dom. Did you get a piece? Yeah, we'll see how this 5-minute closes. 1 minute. At least volume has improved slightly. Slightly. It's at least showing some signs of average now. We like a little more audience. It's always helpful. Buyers still trying to defend this overnight low. Prior 5-minute bar closed as a doji. Not the hammer. That would be preferable down here. There's NQ back into the lows. Volume tapers right back down. Yeah, it's looking more and more like a no trade Friday for me. I'll give it a few more minutes. I wouldn't mind seeing either a little more action above that overnight low with some intraday structure, or I'd like to see the response to the previous all-time high at 222. Otherwise, do not really want to fight that higher time frame action, that hourly bar, that 2-hour bar. Ray tried the undercut of the overnight low. I assume you mean, not the overnight high. Yeah, you want those to go immediately. No doubt. Where's your new low of day? All right, we'll see if there's any interest at 222. If not, that's a wrap on the morning for me. That area fails. Next major level I'd be interested in down at 23,100, or potentially the weekly volume point of control right through here, but ultimately need higher time frame reversal at that point. Here's 222, previous all-time high. There's more of a reference point than a level of interest, per my personal definition anyway. A little uptick in volume there. You have ES into the overnight low as well. Fresh lows. There's 222. Slipping right through like nothing. All right. I think that pretty much settles it. That hourly bar closure mentioned just before 10 a.m. was really the key, if you ask me. That's 60-minute. When you see a bar like this, basically my thought process is see a candle like this, right here. You can't see my cursor, but the shooting star right there. Thought process is okay, well, what is the next bar most likely going to look like? It's kind of how I think about it. If I expect that next bar to be quite red and lower, then why would I be trying longs during that time? It's the higher time frame thought process. So that's a wrap for me. Cash day, cash day, cash day, cash Friday, OPEX Friday. Early morning chop into some weakness. It's not really my tape there. So what I'll keep an eye on, I'll set some alerts either down near weekly volume point of control or down near 23,100. It's about 120 points lower, that level of interest. I'll also monitor for 15 or 30-minute reversals, but don't really want to press the gas fighting this thing. This kind of sequence here. It's kind of the idea anyway. So pre-market plan undefeated. Yes, sir. That's what it's all about, man. Hope you guys had a good morning. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank here, but low expectations for the remainder of today. Hope you guys had a good week, good morning, and we will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.